Hello, my name is Marlene James. I'm in Professor Mayo's class today. It's going to be the speech for public speaking. Today I'm doing hello. So did you know implementing yoga practices for as little as 15 minutes a day can reduce your stress and anxiety? So as strenuous as hectic of life has evolved, especially after COVID-19, the daily stress and lack of movement have caused mental and physical issues for everyone. You can calm your chaos and support your mobility with something as impactful as yoga. It's easy to add into even most swamp schedules, no matter how busy you are, no matter what you're doing. You can at least carve out 15 minutes a day to be able to make sure that you're focused and calm and ready for the day, and are able to have strength in your body, flexibility, and you are not caught up with everything else. You're able to have a good meditative state to be able to move on with your day. As a certified yoga instructor and someone who's practiced yoga for over 10 years through many life changes and stages, even through pregnancy, I assure you that you know the benefits of this firsthand. I have also researched many peer-reviewed medical journals in order to ensure that what I'm doing is also backed by science. There's clinical studies, there's several different sources that you can go into, and you can see that yoga is not just something that you do because it's popular. It's something that has actually been done for various years. It's an ancient practice. There's also different kinds of yoga. I know a lot of people do hot yoga. And you know, that's one of them, but there's also children friendly, and there's also some for the older adults. So you can always practice yoga no matter how old or how young you are. Even, like I said, if something is impactful on your body as pregnancy, you can still alleviate the symptoms that you feel during that time when your back is tired, you have extra weight, and you have to remain calm, because everything you do affects your child while they're developing in utero. That's very important. Yoga practices are easily available to anyone and everyone at any time. So something like when you have to go to the gym and lift a bunch of weights, or you have different systems in order for you to be able to complete those workouts, yoga doesn't have to work that way. You can do it as simple as just in your living room floor or anywhere in your bedroom, and you don't have to go through the nuances of having to switch different materials if you don't want to. There's just as simple as just doing it where you are. And there's also different availabilities if you want to do things differently. There's also yoga mats that you can incorporate. It also helps with the grip with your feet, so you're not moving around if you're doing certain poses. And sometimes your feet can move, your hands can slip, so in order for you to create more safety, you can include a yoga mat. They're very inexpensive and super available. This one I got below $5, so you can always go shopping, and there's everywhere. Another thing, because I know sometimes it's very difficult when you're either pregnant or you're elderly or you're just beginning because you don't have the flexibility, you can include what is called the yoga block. You can sit on this, you can use it to lay down, and then you stretch your back over. You can utilize it in different forms. You can also use one or two. It depends on your level of comfort, and that's one of the things that you can use to incorporate in your practice to make it more safe and secure and more comfortable. It's not a necessity. Like I said, it's super accessible for everyone. Also, the mental and physical health benefits, like I mentioned before, are unparalleled to anything else. There's very little things that you can do physically that will also help you mentally, in that it's included as part of the practice. Like if you use a treadmill every day, you're not practicing meditation, you're not practicing your breathing techniques. You can do it, but it's not part of what it is. Like I said, this is an ancient practice from India, and it's been one of the foundations of the country to help everyone be calm. And it's not an individual culture, it's a community-based culture, and this is one of the things that they do as a community, as a family. Yoga, like I said, is a holistic approach. It's something that centralizes your entire lifestyle. It has all the advantages for every part of your life. If you don't have your health, if you don't have your mental health and your well-being, there's very little you can do, very little that you can accomplish. That's something that people cannot afford to lose. That's something that is part of every human experience, that it's a necessity. It's something you cannot go without. So now that we have, in my presentation today, I will explain how yoga will change your life and give you the longed for mental health and physical health that can be sustained lifelong due to how attainable it is. You don't have to, have to do endurance or stamina the way that you do for other sports. When you're doing, for example, heavy lifting, when you're doing bodybuilding, it doesn't require the same for you. And sometimes people cannot sustain that for their whole life due to injuries, due to sometimes the aging process, that it's just not conducive to continue to pick up 300 pounds from a barbell versus you being able to use your own body weight, and you're able to use it as a calisthenic. So first things first, we have to talk about the mental health crisis that's happening right now. We know that because of the lockdown and the isolation that COVID had caused, it caused a lot of people to not be able to have, community and help from everyone else, which that it impacts your mental health a lot. Being alone is a very bad thing for your health, and so now with this, even though you're practicing, you can, like I said, you can practice in a community or by yourself, but you're actually going through your day, preparing for your day, or closing off your day, or just making sure your day is well balanced through being able to meditate and centralize your system and understand that you don't have to be filled with anxiety. Like I said, the necessity to release stress and anxiety is really at an all-time high. The one thing, like I said, that you cannot go out without is your health, whether it be mental or physical. And if you're going to be able to have the benefits of both while doing one thing, then the best thing that you can do, if you're not going to be able to practice, if you're not going to be able to go running, jogging, doing things like that, as long as you're able to stay flexible. Because if you don't have, even if you do all those things and you do body builds, if you are not able to have flexibility, your body, those certain parts of your body will not have any blood flow, so they're not going to be able to regenerate. So you're doing more harm than good when you're not increasing your flexibility. Unfortunately, one of the major causes of death in the United States is stress. Stress is one of the 6 major factors of death. So not including alcohol, not including cigarettes, not including any of, bad food, all those things. The worst thing that you can do to yourself really is stress. And according to PUB, central stress can overload your immune system. Your immune system can be dysregulated as well as your cortisol levels, and this leaves you susceptible to a myriad of medical issues, spanning from gastrointestinal issues and even worse, specific heart problems and even cancers. So your immune system is what is going to protect you from the germs, the bacteria, the viruses, and be able to make sure that your body stays healthy. If your immune system is down, any little thing can cause issues. So as long as your immune system is healthy, your stress level is healthy, your hormones are regulated, you're able to fight off those things and not be concerned about coronary heart disease or any kind of cancers. So you're able to not have to be in a medical facility all the time. And if you can do that on your own without having to go to pharmaceuticals or anything else outside of yourself, the first thing you can do is start within you and have the availability to do this on your own. Also, the big necessity for the youth is the need for the youth to participate in yoga is also imperative for the younger generation. It also alleviates stress for them and it helps them focus. A lot of people don't attribute stress to children. It's usually considered only an adult problem, but children are also very susceptible to stress. Going to school, having to deal with just everyday life, having to socialize with their peers, and have to to come home, participate in sports, all those things, they can cause them to also feel dysregulated emotionally. So that's one of the major things that we can do. And also for the elderly, all older adults are another vulnerable group that benefits from yoga due to the positive effects of cellular aging. Cellular aging is how old you are through your cells. Even if you're not old in, you can be young, but if your cells are older, that's also going to contribute to bad health. You can now see how necessary yoga is to in any and every stage of life development. Now stress can be mitigated so seamlessly through yoga. Now let's look at how yoga can resolve these things. Yoga is a cortisol regulator. It creates healthy levels of stress hormones, and also with the youth, the need for the youth, it was also backed by the NCBI. It's a government website that gives you the data backing how it is good for the younger generations. And another part is NCBI. It's also giving you an article that's giving you how cellular aging is bad for you. So like I said, you can also see how necessary this is. And now we're going to go into how that you can add seamlessly yoga into your life and how it's going to resolve these issues. And so also on top of being a cortisol regulator, it also adds flexibility to joints and strengthens your muscles. This was by Health Harvard. Harvard had found the benefits in yoga and mental health and stress through mindfulness techniques, including great yoga practices. Another one was BMC, completed complementary therapies, also had found how yoga can even alter theoretically on a clinical level with people with major depressive disorders. So people that are depressed, it also helps. Okay. The solution is evident through many medical journals and even Ivy League institutions that attest to the beneficial impacts of yoga on both mental and physical health. Now please take a moment with me and visualize what your life can look like when introducing yoga into your daily routine. Close your eyes for a moment and just sit in the feeling of calmness and strength after a couple of weeks of yoga practices when introducing yoga into your daily routine. So also gratefulyoga.com, classes and class testimonies. On gratefulyoga.com there are so many testimonies of novice individuals who fell in love with yoga and discovered the health they've always wanted. My family, which also consists of 6, can also include our love of yoga, which aids in the roller coasters of life and is a grounding force in our life, and that I have dedicated so much time into receiving my certification to help others. Okay. In conclusion, yoga practice is not a fad. It is a lifelong commitment to yourself and others to improve yourself mentally and physically. During our deep dive into yoga, we've learned that yoga is a paramount to stress relief and regulation of your hormones and your stress, and to the problems that yoga can resolve in your body and mind. Now we know utilizing yoga in your daily life can improve both your mental and physical health and any battles that you have to go through and issues that you have to go through daily. So now that you don't have to dread coping with everyday stressors, all you have to do is remember that yoga is just a map away. Thank you for listening.